Good morning, Tasha Rose with Radical Mothering. Just wanted to do a real quick video on some of the DIY projects we've been up to. This is the block crayon project, and I just threw a couple together here so we can show you how we go about the process. Just some Crayola crayons in a silicone mold and melt them at about 160, 175 roughly, depending on your oven. We have a gas oven, and this one is a little old, so I need to go a little bit warmer. So I'm on the 175 end. I filled these halfway with crayons. I have filled them fully before, and you end up with really chunky, cute little crayons. If you want more of the aesthetic of the Falana or Stockmar, then you want to only fill it about half full if you have this kind of mold. Fill it about half full, and then when I can pop them out, and I'll show you that in a little bit, when I can pop them out when they're cool enough but still warm, I cut them in half so you get that aesthetic of block crayons. And let's see, we'll let these finish melting, and I will be right back, and I'll show you the other couple of DIY projects that I've got on our nature table that you can do super easy at home. Be right back. All right, here is the other project. It's a little DIY fairy forest structure. I got everything here either from my yard, from my very first and probably only visit to Hobby Lobby, and Target. So the base came from Target. All of these wooden pieces and the trees came from Hobby Lobby, and all these support sticks all came out of my yard. And, oh, I suppose these little sticks came out of my yard too. All I did, was glue it together. That's basically it. I glued stuff together. I did cut a few sticks, for the support over here. And then I added the top. It just looked really cool to me. And this is another piece here. Here's a little nub from one of the sticks, another little nub from one of the sticks. I just glued them down. This one looked like a rock. Let's see if I can get the focus better. And then I constructed the little ladder, and now the kids have a little thing. So these trees came from Hobby Lobby, and they were not painted. I painted them. Well, rather Zoe painted them, but they are really cool. They've got, let's see if I can see this one. They've got bark on one side, and I'm still pulling little glue spider webs off. Bark on one side, and then they're rough on the other, and I just painted the rough side. And that's it. That's it for the play structure. It cost me like 15 bucks. I think this was $4 or $5 at Target. These were $3.99 for all of these little wood pieces, and these were like $4.99 or $5.99, I think, the trees. Let's see, I had a few extra pieces, so I just made a little table, and we have these for little stools for their pig dolls to sit on. Here's one of the pig dolls I've made, and another pig doll that I made. And then these guys, these are my other cheapy DIY if you are on a budget and can't, oh, we've got a cork falling apart. They're called korknisse, and the idea came from Etsy a million years ago, probably a decade ago was when I made my first korknisse, and I made them with knitted hats. Well, because they're corks, I'm not going to invest that much energy in them, and I buy peg dolls these days too. So cork, and these are made with poly too, and you can kind of tell. Oh, Liliana wants to show you her. This is one that she and her sister made together, a little pig doll.
Mine.
But I mean, there's a lot of families who've got, a lot of parents who've got corks laying around because you have a glass of wine. Settle down, please. You have a glass of wine, or you have a party, or you bought a bunch of corks on your neighborhood site because you wanted to do a corkboard project that you have not yet done. So you can make korknisse, and we've got a whole array of them. I've done, basically the whole.
Mom,
You need to find more.
I need to find Zoe's peg doll.
You're gonna find Zoe's peg doll? Yeah. We've got them in, every shade of felt. And these are with poly felt. So, I mean, you can get poly felt if you can't afford the wool felt. That you can get wool felt at some craft stores, and it's a little cheaper than getting it in other places. But basically, you just make the gnome hat. You make a little rectangle, wrap it around the cork, and then you've got a gnome. It's easy. And I can find...
Zoe.
I'm sorry, maybe she has it hidden somewhere else. I will link the korknisse pattern from Ravelry in the description of this video. And that's it. Oh, and Liliana wants to show you this one. What letter is that? That's letter D. It's one of our first alphabet pig dolls. Okay, and we'll be back with the melted crayons. So you can see these are just about melted fully. If these pots were a little fuller, I would stir them. The only one that looks like I'm waiting for is the yellow one. So I'm gonna close this back up for another minute or two and be right back. Okay, I've just taken these out of the oven and I'm trying to get this red one to pop that little bubble there. We don't want a bubble in our crayons. And it just does not want to stop. Okay, so I just dragged it up and I just used a butter knife and that'll come off of there pretty easily. Okay, so a couple of words here. I don't know if you can see this or not. Do you see how the silicone kind of warbles on the outside? Maybe it's just the red one right now. Let's see. Oh, I see the pink one's doing it too. See how it kind of warbles a little bit? That's the only downfall about doing this with the silicone molds, is that the molds kind of give a little bit. But otherwise it really works very well. When I come back, these will be cool and we will pop them out and I'll show you what I do from there. Okay, thanks. And I'm just using the cool of the fall day to get these to cool off a little quicker. And when they're cool, I will pop them out and show you how I do this. And I'll probably make that a video too, because I don't think I can let the jump cut wait that long. I'll try though. Honey. We're still waiting for these to cool, so I'll show you what Degri is finishing up. He decided to lollygag his narration on his cardinals. But he's working that out now, and then we can move on. Okay, you can see that they're getting harder now. I actually just goofed this one up, you can see right there, because I moved the mold. They do harden pretty quickly just on their own. If you've got cooler temperatures, it goes even quicker. And maybe you can see a little bit better now. Do you see the little wobble in the silicone right there? That's what I'm talking about. So that could be problematic, but you could also rub that away with just using the crayons. So, and my camera's having a hard time focusing that close. So they're coming along, another couple of minutes, and we will have crayons to pop out. Okay, I've got them in, and they are still a little bit warm. You can see the red one is still a little bit attached to the side there, so we're gonna let that cool a little bit more. But this pink one, if you just push the mold apart from the crayon, from the sides, it helps to get them out a little bit better. Now it's still squishy. Gabriel actually stuck his finger in there. You can see a little fingerprint in there. This purple one is also, and see they just, excuse me Gabriel. Gabriel, excuse me. They just pop right out from the sides like that, just to loosen them from the edge. Get the green one too. I think we're gonna get this green one out. This is the most accessible, I think. So, what I do to get them out is, Liliana, that's too loud, please, I'm videoing. And this is a little tricky one-handed here. I usually use two hands to do it. But I pop them out, and I'm gonna do that really quick, and I'll be right back.